the time just keep changing and changing. First it was 17 minutes late, then it was 21, then it was 25. Now it's saying 30. I'm praying once I get through this, it clears up a little bit, I will be able to push through this and get my time back, because I did not want to be late. I thought I was going to be early. I thought I was going to be 15 minutes early, and it looks like time is not on my side. I would be so mad if I was truck driving and would be delivering a load late. Not a good look, but I thank God it's not that. Salute to all my truckers out here getting that money. I wish I was out here with y'all right now. Now I'm about to go get my hair done, but I would rather, if I'm going to travel, I would rather get paid for my travel than to travel when I'm about to go spend money. And it is a pretty penny, you know, but it is what it is. I need my hair done. I'm not gonna have to really worry about it too much, because it's gonna be in a protective style. But anyhow, I'm trying not to think about it, because I feel like I'm getting anxiety, and that's not good. I had to pull over. Whew, Jesus, please don't let that happen while I'm driving. It would be good. Woo! But yeah, I'm just turning air on, because that's a lot of distraction going on here. Woo. Good morning, how y'all doing? What you got going on? How's your day? Where you at? What's your name? Because we about to ride. Let me see how much longer I got. I left at like, I think an hour and 15 minutes before the time I was supposed to be at the place. And now, I ain't never been to this part of the city where I'm going to either. This will be my first time being this far away from my house since I've moved to my new place. This is crazy. It's ugly. This is... Hold on. Well, thank goodness I got some snacks. I do got some snacks. I got some popcorn. I got some kettle popcorn. I got some watermelon licorice. That is like my favorite go-to snack. I should have brought fruit. I did bring no fruit, because I was trying to hurry up and get out, thinking I was ahead of time. And I wound up not being ahead of time. But got fruit. I should have had somebody come ride with me. So yeah. Well, I guess I'll come back and talk to you later, because I'm gonna try to stay as long as I can while I'm over here, so we can talk about this, because I got a pretty lengthy drive. Let me see where I'm at. Make sure I'm on the right track before we start talking. Yes, and I have 34 miles, so we good. I gotta ride this 34 miles out. So anyway, I had posted a video on all my platforms yesterday, and I was pretty much talking about, like, when I first got into liking doing content for social media, how when I would tell people about it, a lot of people would kind of like they would say negative things, and sometimes people say negative things, sometimes not intentionally. Sometimes it can really be from the heart, because they don't get the assignment that you're on. So you really got to have tough skin, and you got to be strong to surpass it. But when I first got into it, I remember I had a videographer, and he would record me and my family, because I had a lot of life-changing events that had happened in my life. I was a widow mom at the age of 26. My husband had passed away. 5 months after his death, my youngest sister was murdered by her abuser in front of her two small kids, and I got custody of them. I had two biological kids. Before
hazard reported ahead.
Another accident. You're still on the fastest route. Before my husband passed away, and these were my kids that I had. They were from a previous relationship. So we didn't have kids together. 5 months after my husband passed, my sister was murdered. I got her kids. So my family instantly grew from 2 kids to 4, like literally overnight. Because I knew, I had in my mind, I was not about to allow my family to be separated. I already had once went through that. Because when I was like 15, my mom went to prison. And me and my sister was placed in foster care. And then after foster care, we had a loving foster parent, and she stayed in our life for a very long time. R.I.P. to her. I consider her a grandmother. I mean, she been in my life through a lot of things, and I always had a good, genuine heart. So anyway, after that, and even when we got placed with our aunt, my foster parents still would, make sure she keep in contact with me and my sister. So she played a big part in our life. But my mom's younger sister she had one son at the time, and she was raising us. And then before that, now this is crazy, before that, my mom had 2 other children that are older than me and my youngest sister. And she was a young mom, but she had lost custody of them to their father. He had got custody, and then he lost custody, and they got placed in the system. And so my mom tried to work on getting her rights back, and they was offering her services, but the foster parent that had them, she was allowing them to have like unscheduled visits. And I remember this lady. She was an amazing lady. Her name was Miss Maddie Staten. Or I think I ain't gonna say R.I.P. to her, but I think somebody told me that she had passed. But she reminds me of the foster parent I had. She was an older woman, and she had a lot of foster children. And 2 of the kids were my 2 older sisters. And she would allow my mom to see them. She would even have me come over like every holiday. She would have like big dinners. And when I tell you, this lady, when she gave all the kids something, she even gave me stuff. And she wanted my mother to get her kids back so bad, but somebody told child services what she was doing. And so they ended up taking all rights from my mom and gave it to my sister's dad. And once he got them, he didn't do right by the kids, and then they were just placed into the system. So one of my sisters did get adopted. They were placed into a home together, but the foster parent didn't want to keep my oldest sister, so she kept the second oldest sister, and they adopted her. So that's a whole nother story. So I did not see my sister for like 21 years. Because not foster parent, because she's adopted. The adopted parent did not want our family to have contact with her, including me, and I was a sister. Like, that was crazy. But anyway, so when that happened, it was just a lot of crazy stuff that I had experienced. Like I said, my aunt had got me and my sister, and I just always had in my heart, if anything would ever happen, I would do, like my aunt, and make sure that my family stays together, because I don't want, us separated. So when my mom went to prison, my aunt did get us after I'd say about, when I was like maybe 20. I think I was like 18, 19. I tried to get my youngest sister, because she was placed into like a behavior facility, and I tried getting custody of her, but I don't think I got custody of her until I was like 21. I was like 22. I was 22. Yep. I was 22 years old. Got her. And she thought, because we were sisters, that I was about to let her party at 16. And that was so not the case. Well, she didn't realize, yes, I'm your sister. And it was a 6-year difference with us. I was 6 years older than her. Baby, you about to get in school. You about to get a diploma. You about to go to college. You about to do what's right. And we was just butting heads, and it didn't really work like that. So her social worker placed her out of my house temporarily with a family member of mine. And then they helped her get emancipated, and she was able to get her own apartment. That could have been the worst decision they made for my sister, because this is when her life started changing, and she actually got involved with the man that took her life, who is now free. After serving 11 years, he is free after murdering her. But that could have been the worst thing they did. And it's like, a lot of social workers be feeling foster kids, because they really do not be caring about what their future is. And I understand that they have a lot of caseloads, but it's rare that you get a social worker that really cares about foster children or adopted children. Well, you don't even have a social worker no more once they're adopted. But anyway, My life changed. The reason I'm telling you guys is because I'm telling you how I got into content creating. I'm like, God, I'm having all this crazy stuff going on. So I was a survivor of a husband, 2 sisters. I'm going to get to the second sister. 2 sisters, and then eventually a son, and a mom in prison. So I'm just trying to hold everything down because my mom wasn't out to help me get these kids because she was in prison. She had got sentenced 35 years. So I was just pretty much the backbone of the family. So after I got my youngest sister's children after she was murdered, I can't think, it's like several months later, probably about 5-6 months later after her death, I got reunited with my second oldest sister that was adopted. And she was asking like, where's our oldest sister? Because my oldest sister ended up coming back to the family. My grandmother got her when she was like 14, 15. And she had a lot of behavior, so she had to put her in like a behavior facility. So once that happened, she got emancipated. The same thing happened. Social workers failed her, got involved with the wrong type of people. And I was telling her the situation, like, hey, this is what happened. She got involved with the wrong people. I haven't seen her, I haven't spoke with her. And so she was like, we gotta find her. So like, I'm like, yeah, we do gotta find her. So a few months after that, after we had the conversation, Child Services called me and tell me that they had my oldest sister's daughter. They seen that they looked in the system and seen that we were sisters, and we were like, we also see that you have your youngest sister kids, and we wanted to know would you be interested in getting your oldest sister kids. And I was like, yes, without a doubt. I had never met my niece. She was like, well, we trying to move fast because we just got this case. The people that have her, they illegally have her, and she's not in a safe environment. I said, oh, absolutely. Come on. I'm like, where's my sister? They're like, is she okay? What's going on? And they was like, we had to tell you later. So I had to wait a while, a few days, another week. I get in, and a social worker and her supervisor meets me at the door. I knew it was serious because I'm like, a social worker and her supervisor? Usually it's just a social worker. But I was like, this is serious. Logged on this long call, get in the conference room, got me at this long table. I swear it's like a movie. It don't even seem real. I'm sitting across from both of them, and they tell me, the good news is we do have your niece. She is safe right now because we're working on trying to get her. The bad news is that your sister is deceased. And she has been deceased for 9 years. And it was like my world stopped. I said, wait a minute. Run that back. Wait. 9 years? I'm like, how? How are y'all just now getting in contact with me? And she was like, we just got the case. Like, we just found out, what was going on. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay, so what's going on with my niece? Is she mentally delayed, physically delayed? Is there any disabilities that she may have? Like, what's the situation on that? They said, no, not physically. Now, mentally, she hadn't been in school. She's 9 years old. She has not been in school for 9 years. So, that part, yeah. But she can talk, she can walk, You would just have to get her in school. And I'm like, okay, yeah, get her to me. Without doubt. Never met my niece, and I was just like, I already had an instant love for her. Once I found out your family say instant love. So I got her, and it was so trying because imagine getting a child, or just imagine even being a child. You have been taught the people that have you are your family, and you find out they're not your family. And then you actually meet your family, and you're trying to understand how. So what happened with that situation, my sister was dating an older guy, a lot older than her. And when she got pregnant with my niece, he knew that he was not the father. So instead of contacting us when my sister passed away, he took it upon himself for him and his family to keep my niece. So his mother raised her thinking that she was the mother, had her thinking that he was the brother, and his grandmother was her grandmother. And so she's confused for 9 years. And when I get her, she like, well, how? And I'm like, look, I had to show her, this is your mother. And this is crazy. My niece looked just like my sister. Like my sister spit this child out. So when they brought her, I was like, how you can be like, oh, it might be a mystery. That might not be. Nah, she looked just like my sister. Walk like her, talk like her, act like her, everything. I was like, this is your mother. And so she just cried like, this is how? But she's like, I thought, I'm going to say her name, I think her name was Deborah or something like that. I thought such and such was my. I said, no, that's not your mama, baby. Your sister is my mother. This is your mother. So I had to tell her that. So she even tried to leave at night. I would have to stay up late at night. Oh my God, this is just life changing, y'all. Okay, I could go on and on. I'm gonna try to make it short, but this has been long. I got a long drive, so that's why I don't mind talking. But I had to tell her, like, nah, baby. I'm like, this is your mom. You gotta stay here. Those people is not your family. It's so much to the stories. They had never had her in school. The most places she had been is Walmart, in the library, in a hospital. And she was in the hospital because the woman that they told her was her grandmother was sick. And actually how she ended up getting to me is that one time she got sick, the guy that is lying saying he's her brother took her down to like a media area where they had like computers and stuff, and he pulls up on his computer pornography while my niece is sitting next to him. I think a social worker or a nurse saw it and they contacted child service immediately. Thank God for that, because I was able to get my niece. Oh Jesus, thank you God, because she was going through some things, being exposed to a lot of things. They was just doing a lot of terrible things to her, and so I was able to get her, do my best with her, to try to show her, positive things in life, taking her different places, putting her in school. That was really rewarding for her because she ended up having a loving for it in the beginning, and it was just different, So anyway, that's part of it. Long story short, now I done got my niece, and when I got her, I forgot to say this, I was pregnant with my third biological child. So my family went from 2 children to 6 children. 6 children, because I had got my youngest sister 2 kids, my oldest sister daughter, and then I had my 3 kids. And so, my life had changed. My life had changed. Oh, Jesus. And so I ended up moving to Georgia. I had a relative telling me, like, girl, I want you to come. I want you to help me. She had moved from my hometown to Georgia. And I was like, Georgia? I don't want to move to Georgia. Thank God I decided to go visit and fell in love and loved it. And it changed from there. So when I got to Georgia with these 6 kids, I met a videographer. And we were friends. I'm telling him about what I had going on, and he was like, well, I want to record it. He's like, this is inspiring. Like, you went through all that and you still making it. You raising these kids by yourselves. You doing your thing. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So we was trying, and it really wasn't picking up. But let me tell you about consistency. Whenever you decide to do something, you have to stay consistent with that thing, okay? And so we started in 2015 with that. And I just kept going. And so I ended up moving away because I lost a child after, I think, a year of recording. And no, we started in 2015. I lost him the same year, like months later. And so, or did we start in 2014? No, I'm trying to think. So maybe it was like 2014 to 2015. And I had moved away because I lost a child. And my dad, he's from Chicago. I got a lot of family there. He's like, come here. I want to help you and the kids. You need to get away from there for a while. See how it is here. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you can always go back. So I said, that don't sound like a bad idea. I do need to help because this pain. I lost a lot of loved ones. It hurted when I lost them. But when you lose a child, that's a different type of hurt. That I was in pain. And so I said, okay. I went, and my dad did help me, especially with my youngest one. He was, able to keep her instead of me putting her in daycare, so I can work. And I will always appreciate my dad for that. He wasn't in my life a lot, but he did, cause he felt like he had to make up with the grandkids, and I'm very thankful for that. I love you, Dad. I will always have respect for you for that, Father. So anyway, I was like, okay, this stuff is crazy. I wasn't doing the show anymore, so because I was now in Illinois. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just put content out. Now, when I was doing it, I really still didn't know what I was doing, but I knew it was going to get me somewhere, and I knew I was like, shoot, it's money in it. It's like, who do I want to do this? So, long story short, my Facebook page was kind of stagnant a little bit. It wasn't going nowhere. I had got my first platform on TikTok. I say 2020, before the pandemic actually happened. I got on TikTok, and overnight, I had 10,000 followers, and then it just kept growing, 35,000 and 50,000. It just kept growing. And so I started having different things that they had. And I'm like, okay, this is going somewhere. somewhere. So I was like, okay, my page on TikTok was growing, Instagram was growing. I had a nice following on there. And so I was like, okay, what am I doing with Facebook? Because this not doing it. So then Facebook started paying. I was like, wait, I'm glad I didn't delete this page. I was thinking about deactivating it. Thank God I kept that Facebook page. I've been getting paid with them for, it'll be 2 years this year. And last month I made a 6-figure check. And not last month, January, it was a 6-figure check. Last month, still good. This month, still good. Okay, so I'm just thankful. And the reason I'm telling y'all this is because I want to show other people how they can do the same thing that I'm doing. You don't gotta buy anything to do this. Now, I am selling a e-guidebook to show you how you can start earning income from Facebook, and that is on my website. I will put that website in this video. And you guys will be able to purchase it. I also teach about business credit because I went to CDO school last year and got my CDO license. And while I was in the process of getting my license, I started my own trucking business. And I was able to build business credit and get credit cards and funding from it. So I do have an e-guide on business credit as well. That's on my website. So I'm going to link that later. I'm about to get off of this phone though. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed day.